Welcome to ET-147, your go-to course on all things unidentified, extraterrestrial, alien, blah 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 blah. Not to be confused with engineering technology. You're in the wrong class. During this course, we will be discussing aliens, extraterrestrial life, unidentified flying objects, unidentified aerial phenomenon, unidentified submersible objects, the men in black, the reptilians, the greys, the greens, the blah 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 blah. What's my stance? Well, there has to be something out there. There's no way that there isn't. Arthur C. Clarke said that two possibilities exist. Either we're alone in this universe, or we're not. Both are equally terrifying. So, let's get into it. Here's my stance on aliens. Are they the little green men? I don't know. They haven't chosen to reveal themselves to me yet. However, where there is smoke, there is also fire. Look behind the smoke and you will see. It's all just a lie. It's all a conspiracy. Everybody's in on it. All of the governments, all of the important people, everybody knows. We're all aware. Nobody's pretending that aliens aren't out here. We're very slowly being inducted into it. We're, being exposed to it over time with movies like Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and then all the Spielberg films. And then that leads us to all of the sightings, including the report that came out, I don't know, last year, maybe? Time is a construct, I don't know. The Pentagon's UFO report. We'll get into that at some point. But, to me, it makes more sense that we are not alone. Should we fear whatever unidentified, extraterrestrial, alien, so on and so on, life form there is? No, not really. While some instances, like the, malevolent, the harmful UFO abductions in Brazil, they exist, some of the aerial battles too. If an intelligent species, let's say they came into existence, they evolved millions of years ago before our Earth was even a rock in the solar system. If they were that advanced, and they meant us harm, wouldn't they have already done it? There would be nothing that we could do against a truly advanced species. It would just be another day in our lives. The fact that we are still here, in my eyes, is proof that they aren't truly evil. Maybe some of them, yeah, sure, aren't people too. I think overall, there's very little to fear. Now, the UFO and alien phenomenon is nothing new, with sightings going back to the 1440 BCE skies of ancient Rome, to phantom ships, to the Battle of LA in 1942, to Roswell, New Mexico, to the harmful UFOs of Brazil, to pilots seeing everything when they fly. There's nothing new here. Now, have we been in contact with an extraterrestrial species? Maybe. It's certainly a possibility. I'm not going to say that it isn't. Probably. Look behind the smoke. They're not telling you the truth. Anyways, sorry, that was just a little rant. Did the ancient Sumerians, were they in contact with the Anunnaki? Maybe, I don't know, I'm not from ancient Sumeria. Although, if the Anunnaki were there, were they just a bunch of mythological deities that the Sumerians worshipped, or were they ancient aliens, some sort of ancient cosmonaut, ancient astronaut if you will, that came here, came to Earth, and gave one of Earth's first civilizations knowledge that was so beyond anything we could have comprehended at the time? How did the pyramids get here? No. I'm not going to do that yet. Anyways, this is nothing new. They've been here for a very long time. Speaking of, let's talk about the most famous UFO story in America. Roswell, let me check my date again. 47. Some of you may remember the course name, ET-147. 1947 was a big year for the UFO phenomenon. There were multiple sightings in Washington, the state, not the capital, just in case you were confused, near Mount Rainier. People reported seeing, one pilot in general, Kenneth Arnold, reported seeing 9 flying objects and just, swerving around, doing all kinds of crazy flying object things that our ships on Earth are not capable of. There's no way that we can do these. The extraterrestrials, however, their craft can do all of this. They can plummet into the waters, they can do neck-breaking, G-force defying turns and flips and skips. They can go so fast. Why? Because they're that advanced. They're out there. Although, apparently they're not as advanced to have autopilot. Roswell, 1947. Again. In July, this little farmer, who some of you may or may not have heard of, W. Mac Brazel. He claims that some sort of debris, was found on his ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. Now, Brazel hadn't heard of the rash of unidentified flying object phenomena that was going on at the time. As I said, 1947 was a big year for UFOs. Brazel didn't really have any form of communication. He was just sitting there on his ranch. And then one day, he rode into town, heard about the new phenomena that was driving everybody crazy. Pilots reporting seeing shapes of unidentified flying objects that they were not sure what they were. Those objects being seen all over, doing stuff that we can't do. Well, that's when Brazel was like, you know what? That sounds kind of familiar. I've got this debris near my ranch. I don't know what it's from, but what if it's one of those flying discs that everybody is obsessed with? So, bad gas travels fast in a small town. Brazel started talking about his alleged debris. He was cautious at first. Most people would be if they have debris, they don't know what it is. We've seen what happens. You say that you have proof or video of some UFO or flying object or, other debris or pictures of an extraterrestrial. And then who shows up? The men in black. And they'll show up and they'll make all of that little stuff disappear. I'm not talking Will Smith. I'm talking, well, whatever. That's a later topic. Just a little teaser here. So, eventually, Brazel's saucer debris made it to the police, made it to the Roswell Army Airfield, who, few days after he had told them, released a statement from Walter Haut that said, quote, "The many rumors regarding the flying disc, became a reality yesterday when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force, Roswell Army Airfield, was fortunate enough to gain possession of a disc through the cooperation of one of the local ranchers and the sheriff's office of Chaves County." Or Chavez. I'm sorry. I'm not a pronunciation. I'm not a linguist. I'm not J.R.R. Tolkien. I'm just a ufologist. The Army said that they recovered debris of a flying saucer and or disc-related phenomenon. And then, just as soon as news began to get out, they shut it down like they always do. They changed the official report to say that all it was just debris from a little weather balloon that had crashed. It's nothing to worry about. It's always some kind of cover-up. That was still in 1947 when it went from the saucer to the weather balloon debris. Then, in 1994, it changed once more from, well, it's still a balloon, but it's not a weather balloon. In 1994, the U.S. Air Force said that it was actually a surveillance balloon as part of Project Mogul, which, during the times of the 1947, all it was trying to do was spy on Soviets. So why? Why was it in Roswell, New Mexico? Then, at other points of the phenomenon, people allegedly claimed that they had seen little gray bodies being autopsied. Aliens being cut open after the crash, examined and studied by scientists. Now, as with most stories, the truth is usually somewhere in there amidst all of the different tales and all of the different sides. What happened in Roswell? Was it a UFO crash? Were alien bodies discovered? I don't know. I wasn't there. I was born a couple years after 1947 and even 1994, so it beats me. But was it just a weather balloon or even a surveillance balloon? No. They don't want me telling you all of this. But, hypothetically, I would say that it could, keyword, could, be more than just a balloon. Again, I wasn't there. They haven't given me that kind of clearance into the government yet. But why? Why would your story change so much? In the 1947, don't you think that Americans, they would have just accepted the truth? They would have said, oh, it's a weather balloon. Or, oh, we're just looking for the bad guys that we're fighting right now. Why? Why was there so much secrecy? Why is there so much confusion? Why is there always a cloud of haze? Why is it always just a cover-up? I don't know. I'm hoping that we'll find this out together. This isn't your normal course. I'm not going to sit here and go through a syllabus week. First crash course was largely on Roswell. Now, I'm not completely credible, apparently. Most of my information has come from various internet sources, including Wikipedia. And I will continue to use Wikipedia. But, then again, most people would just call me a conspiracy theorist, a lunacy, a ranter, a nut job, whatever. They're scared of what I have to tell you. I am dedicated to the art of UFO studies, ufology, if you will. You might not be able to see this, but I have these tattoos. This is dedication. Why would I get permanent markings of aliens all over my body for nothing that I don't believe in? Anyways, tune in next time. We're going to continue to go further in depth. This one, it was just a little teaser. Next week, next time, whenever class meets, I'm still working on figuring out schedules and syllabus weeks and everything like that. I'm also working on getting paid. They haven't slid me any paycheck yet. However, I want to talk about recent news. All of the pilots that have claimed to see something, the multiple branches of the military that have seen some sort of radar on their map. Or, what about that Pentagon report that I mentioned at the beginning? Thank you for coming along with me. And, as Freddie Mercury said, open your eyes. Look up to the skies and see. See for yourself. Look for the truth yourself. Look behind the haze. Look behind the smoke. Look behind all of the cover-ups. They don't want you to know the truth. I, on the other hand, do.